Hello, sports fans. My name is Joe Poissant. On the microphone, Calvin Caston on the camera for Hometown Cable playoff action. Class B girls. We have the Peru Indians in blue, and we have the Beekmantown Eagles in white this afternoon quarterfinal action. Beekmantown, the top-ranked team in Division I. They have not been beat yet this year, but just had a tie with these same Peru Indians probably about a week and a half ago. Peru Indians coached by Tom Harrigan. They seem to have been playing a little bit better as of late. But like I said, Beekmantown has not been beat. They bring in a record into here of 11 wins and 1 tie. 43 goals scored and 9 goals against. And Peru is bringing a record of 4 wins, 7 losses and 1 tie with 28 goals for and 29 against. And Peru putting a little pressure on here early. And Beekmantown has their goal scorer, Callie Villamere. She's a familiar name for the Villamere name of Shazy, of course, and Huber. They are the 2 big goal scorers up front for Beekmantown. And Peru counters with the Bushy girls, Lindsay Bushy, number 12, who is a standout player and has been for a few years. And Villamere and Bushy, you probably will be they will be counted on to play very hard for their teams. But I do see number 12, Bushy. Tom or Coach Harrigan does have her back in a sweeper position, which is kind of strange, really, for a goalkeeper, Calvin, or a goal scorer, I should say.
Well, maybe just to start there, and let the other team get their defense set up, and then move her up.
Yes, when she is a very skilled player. So, Coach, she gets beat here. Number 13 goes right by her is Villamere. Villamere with a chance here. Villamere one-on-one with Villamere with a quick goal for Beekmantown. Getting right on the board. It's what great hard work by Callie Villamere. We have just a little less than 2 minutes gone here in this game with 38:06 left. Villamere puts Beekmantown on the board early. Hey, back to action after a quick goal by number 13, Beekmantown's Villamere. We mentioned her name earlier just in this broadcast, and she delivered on everything that's promised of her, getting Beekmantown a quick 1-0 lead, and she has the ball again. Huber and Villamere are the strikers, like we mentioned, and very, very deadly.
And Joe, we can't let Blair Villamere get all the credit. Callie's mother, Kim Bourgeois, former Kim Bourgeois, also an excellent player.
Okay. And actually, Blair was a keeper.
Yes.
So Blair gets none of the credit.
Well, I've got to ask George if Blair was a good athlete.
Yes, he is.
He says, theoretically, your keeper should be your best athlete.
In a lot of ways, it's true too. In a lot of ways. Maybe not even the best skilled soccer player per se, but like you're saying, just good athlete. They got to have good hands, and they got to be. Normally, you don't see a lot of big, stout keepers that are good. Normally, they're tall and they're lean and brawny. Villamere here with a 1-on-1 against Danny Dayton. Again, what's Villamere get? Dayton with a beautiful save to keep Peru in this game, keeping the game at a 1 score. Beekmantown having all kinds of opportunities. And Bushy, number 12, wisely delivers the ball downfield to take a little pressure off Dayton. Beekmantown putting all kinds of pressure. 1 great opportunity, there are actually 2 great opportunities scoring on 1. Villamere, hopefully that will not come back to haunt the Beekmantown Eagles, not scoring on that chance. These games like this, a lot of times you only get a few chances in a game, and Peru defense is going to have to settle down a bit. Kicked out of bounds by Beekmantown. I'm going to start doing a little play-by-play here. I don't know these teams too well, but we're going to do the best we can. Number 2 is Passano. Passano going up to number 5, trying to find 5. Agony out of bounds. Yeah, they are actually. They just got to get familiar with some of their players. I covered Peru earlier this season in the Shazy tournament. Yes, so I know some of their players, and just by recognition, name recognition in the paper. So, especially the Bushy sisters. And there's one of them there, Alexis Bushy, the sister of Lindsay. And Beekmantown also has a very good defense too, stingy defense. Midfielders are solid. So, it'll be an interesting game. It definitely helps Beekmantown cracking a early lead with less than 2 minutes gone in the game. Nice little play right there by Regan. And number 11 for Peru. Kelly with the ball, goes over to 5. Agony. Agony with some space, being challenged. And goes out of bounds, and it will be a Beekmantown throw-in. That was good defense by number 15 for Beekmantown, Schwartz.
Take it!
Oh, nice play by Alexis Bushy, number 18 for Peru. She has some space in the corner. Oh, another clever move, and wisely kicked out of bounds because Bushy would have got a hold of that. She had a whole lot of space to work with for a service or a shot on goal end line. And Bushy with a throw-in. And Bushy with a nice service in the center. And the ball being kicked around a bit, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Peru throw-in. Peru putting on a little bit of pressure after getting the early goal scored on them. We have 34-43 left here in the first half. Beekmantown with a quick 1-0 lead and a good service from Bushy. And goalkeeper for Beekmantown, O'Connor, comes up with that one. That could have been a pretty good play if somebody from Peru would have been on top of that. O'Connor with a kick comes over to 11 Regan. Regan has a little bit of time. Trying to get it up to either Huber or Villamere. Villamere controls the ball. Villamere with a nice slick move. And a nice little square ball move over to number 8, her teammate Buccioletta. Now just kicked around, and Alexis Bushy just kicks the ball booming down. O'Connor deciding whether to come off her line or not, and O'Connor loses ball. O'Connor's still on her knees outside the box, and Peru can't capitalize on a pretty good chance. O'Connor has, she was kind of hesitant on that one. Do I come off or do I stay? And a lot of times if you're going to hesitate, you're probably better off to stay. You've got to commit one way or another. And 14 Huber just goes wide with a shot. Danny Dayton will have a goal kick here for Peru. Lindsay Bushy, number 12, will take this one. I don't think I've ever heard of Bushy playing, or Lindsay Bushy playing sweeper. She's always played either midfield or forward, you know, so Coach Harrigan's switching things up a little bit, definitely since the beginning of the seasons. In all fairness to them, they have some players missing. We spoke about Letta. Letta is not playing soccer. She is running cross country. And Vilmer coming over to number 2, Jodwin. And well defended by Peru to get that ball out. They get it out quick. And number 8 for the Indians, Brown. And Alexis Bushy. Ball comes over to 5 Avenue. And good defense by Beekmantown. Very good defense actually, but Peru does retain possession with Agony just kicking the ball downfield, and goes to Alexis Bushy, her teammate. And a nice wide ball. Right back to Agony. Agony trying to service it in the middle. And 11 heads the ball. That would be Kelly. Ball just being kind of booted back and forth a bit. No team really taking absolute possession here with 32-15 left in the first half. A lot of midfield play, and both teams getting a chance or two, with Beekmantown getting the best of it. Villamere having 2 phenomenal chances, and you got to give Danny Dayton credit on that second save because she was another one-on-one with Villamere. And I think every time Villamere gets the ball, the little bells and whistles better go off for Peru because she is dangerous. Her and Huber up front.
Sound the alarm.
You better. And the field was that Calvin?
I was just going to mention the temperature. You're talking about the field.
Go ahead.
40 degrees when we arrived here. So
40 degrees in it.
A little breeze.
Overcast, yeah, a little from the west, a little breeze. It looks like the flag is kind of a limp wave, I should say. Good throw in. Villamere heads it. And just kicked down by number 2 Passano, out of bounds. It's going to be a far side throw in for Beekmantown.
Snow on the horizon for tonight, though.
For up here too? I thought it's just going to be downstate.
Well, that's the main event is, but we're supposed to possibly get a trace.
Well, we can deal with that.
A trace could be 6 inches. Or no snowflakes at all.
It's all relative. That was a pretty good defense right there by Beekmantown, and 10 for Peru. Hogan centers the ball and just kicked out of bounds by Passano. And a quick goal kick for Beekmantown. 30 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first half. Beekmantown with a 1-0 lead on a breakaway goal by Villamere, one of the leading goal scorers in the area. I believe she's only a freshman too, so she comes from a family of good athletes. Both of her, well, her uncle Vince was a good athlete here in Shazy, and her dad Blair. So I do have to say it is partly genetic, Calvin. Good training, good coaching, but you got to have the skills and the ability to do it, and she definitely does. And number 4 for Peru, Carpenter, just going right upfield. Well defended by Beekmantown, and 10 and just kicks the ball down, and maybe a foul on Beekmantown and a little direct kick here. Just past the halfway mark for Peru with 29:43 left in the first half.
I want to mention the officials before we forget. Huh?
Oh, we have Jim Karen in the middle, and we have Todd Lambert on the far side. Yes, he is on this side. Todd Lambert and Larry Flashball Bayshard on the far side, the flagmen this afternoon. They do have 3 officials at these sectional games.
Semifinals.
And yes, they do. In the finals, they do not have them in the quarterfinals, all correct? So we will have 3 officials, 2 lines judges, and the judge in the middle. We're back to action here. I didn't get those substitutions that I wanted to because Calvin was asking me about something else, but we can forgive him for that.
I won't talk anymore.
It's that, what do they call it? Joey always sets you up for failure. Okay. But I do know, I was looking now, Villamere came off the field for the goal scorer for Beekmantown.
Come on, girl.
And Beekmantown awarded a goal kick with 28:32 left in the first half. Semifinal action at the George Brendler Field in Shazy. The field conditions I was going to mention too, it's a little bit slick down here where Danny Dayton is for the Peru Indians on to my left.
Let's be aggressive.
It's a little drier here, but they have been worse. And you got to give the athletic director for Shazy, Brian Norcross, some credit for that. And he's had some help from Josh Volsch, the assistant varsity coach for Shazy's varsity boys, and Adam Kelly with a pass to Agony. Agony still with possession, and she's trying to get a service in. It just goes a little bit too close to the keeper of O'Connor. And Regan and Villamere getting ready to check back in for the Beekmantown Eagles. And Coach Norris giving him a quick break. And boom down. Peru is doing what they have to do right now to, they had a couple of defensive breakdowns really early in this game, but since then Beekmantown has not really had a good crack at the goal. Their defense is tightening up. Their midfield is starting to play a little better. Take a little bit of the action to Beekmantown and keeping the ball in the middle of the field, so they're getting a little bit more comfortable. And Regan and Villamere going in for the Eagles. And coming off the field is number 2, Jodwin, and 14, Huber. Jessica Huber, one of the other top goal scorers in the area for Section 7. That is all 3 divisions, too. How do you feel about that, Calvin? They lump all the divisions into the goal scorers and stuff like that because,
Why not?
well, let's face it, Division 1 has harder, but it's,
They always did.
they always did. Do you think that,
they always put their...
didn't they used to break it down? Or did they put them together?
No, it's put together.
They maybe should break it down a little bit, to for each division maybe, have the top 10. That's just something to think about. Because let's face it, you play a team like Northeastern compared to a team like Wells, and there is quite a discrepancy.
Yeah, Wells is a lot smaller school.
No doubt.
Not their fault.
No, it's not anybody's fault. There's no blame to be assigned. It's just something to put out there. And 8, Bucciolato with the free kick. Beekmantown with possession, and number 2, Jordan tries to actually had to be 21 for Beekmantown. Waterbury.
This speaking of Wells, E-Town had their way with them last night.
Yes, they did. And there's a nice move by number 11 Regan for Beekmantown. And I don't think that move was so nice or called for, but she did hustle back and try to get the ball. So you can see by the falling down of Regan that there is some slippery conditions, but it's Norcross has done what he could do to keep it dry. All counts on the weather. And Kelly with a service in the middle, and ooh my. Peru keeping a little pressure on. Number 5 Agony in the middle of the field. Trying to get a little something going. What do you got,
I think Brian ought to get a great big carpet and cover this field overnight so that the frost doesn't kill the grass, and then the grass is able to continue to grow and replenish itself. What do you think?
Okay, you work on that, and I'll work on getting the scores and stuff all, spread by division. Good luck on both those aspects. And Agony fighting for possession. Agony trying to get a shot off. Oh my! It was kind of a half whiff. She's Beekmantown under some pressure, but their defense is playing well here, just well enough not to allow any good scoring chances on the keeper O'Connor. Peru with a quick throw in. Like I said, probably about a week and a half ago, Peru did put the only blemish, if you want to call it that, on the Beekmantown Eagles. Gave them a tie, 1-1, and it was a very well-played game. I spoke to a few of the girls from each team, and so Peru has been playing much better. Their record is not indicative of their talent as of late. Oh, nice move by Alexis Bushy. Alexis Bushy looking up for Agony, and it goes right in the hands of the keeper O'Connor for Beekmantown, and she's going to take a second, let her team get set up. And a nice booming kick by O'Connor, and Villamere trying to trap it. And it goes into the leg of Bucceletto. I would have to say that's Bucceletto or Bucceletto. If you want to go there, number 8 for Beekmantown, I don't want to. Yes, Bucceletto or Bucceletto? Bucceletto?
I'm going to go with Booch. I'm going to go with Booch.
Bucceletto?
Yeah, that's
okay. It was Italian, so we'll go with that.
Good shot at Tom Harrigan there. He's off the field right now. He's about 6 feet on the field.
Coach Harrigan, he gets a little excited. He's coaching the girls. He's coached the Peru boys for the last few years and had good luck with them, and bringing his team into the semifinals against Beekmantown, and he seems to like his chances. And defense for Peru, those whistles are going off, and number 2 just kicks it down the field a little bit past it, and 11 for Beekmantown retained possession Regan. And then for Peru, Kelly booms the ball and easily collected by the defense of Beekmantown. Goes off the foot of Bushy, and Bushy kicks it off the foot of 15, and Schwartz goes off her foot. And kind of a wasted throw-in for Peru. Schwartz with a throw-in, and both teams trading throw-ins down the line. Passing over, trying to find Agony. Goes off Agony's head, and defense for Beekmantown kind of lazy. Villamere giving chase, and goes off the foot of Peru defender, and both these teams wasting throw-ins. Somebody has to be open in the middle. If you got all kinds of traffic down the line, somebody has to be open in the middle. I see a couple, but she still goes into traffic. And Villamere here for Beekmantown, and goes off the foot of Peru defender, number 11, Kelly, and good throw-in. Villamere trying to fight off 3 of them, and Agony ends up with the ball for Peru, and she just missed that one. But Agony's giving some good hustle here for Coach Harrigan's Peru Indians on this near side, and 11 for Beekmantown with the throw-in. Regan goes down to the foot off, and number 6 for Peru gets it over to foot of Agony. Number 6 is Mazzella. Off the defender of Beekmantown, and another throw-in, and then is she going to go down the line again? Oh, she tries to go in the middle. That is a wiser decision. It's still good play by Beekmantown's number 8, Bucceletto. Trying to get it up to Huber. Well defended by Lindsay Bushy for Beekmantown. And Passimo trying to kick the ball, and 10 for Peru does get a foot on it finally. Hogan. Ball just, no team really retaining possession, Calvin. They're not really putting together any, consecutive passes like right there, like they're doing here. This is what they're going to have to do more of each team. It's going to be their key to success. Whoever does it the best, I think, is going to win, because that booting game is not really an effective game. It seems like both these defenses are pretty good, especially, Peru was challenged twice, and they had 2 good chances. Beekmantown did. O'Connor. Agady's pretty dangerous up front for the Indians. If she gets another step or 2 on that ball, and Beekmantown might pay for that. Oh, good defense right there by Alexis Bushy. Going to the middle for Kelly. It was well defended by Beekmantown, and 21 gets a hold of it. That's Waterbury. And on the far side for Peru, 15. Let me see. They can't be Danny Dayton. She's the keeper. Is that his 15 in that far side? My old eyes cannot see. Or 25. I'll have to redo this. Calvin's even older. Eyes can't see it either. So that'll be 16. 16 Larson. And passing on a booming kick downfield. It's 16. 16. I thought it was 15. 16. Yeah, 16 is the Larson, Emily Larson. So another mistake that I'll make. One of many I'll make this afternoon. So, and that's where
you're here to make them, not like that.
Well, the quarterback Joey Trombley he's a no-show again this afternoon. Granted, he is probably jet lag coming back from a conference in Anaheim, California. So
since he's got that new Talking Business show, he just figures he's.
His head is pretty swelled. He was Ted Baxter before. We're going to have to give him another name now. So
the ratings are just shooting out of the roof.
He does a good job of that Talking Business. It's a good program now. And getting ready to check back in for Beekmantown, number 2, Shanae Jodolin, and number 8 for Peru is Brown. Ready to check in. Just kick down the field, and 16 for Peru getting chase. I won't mix her up this time. Larson. Normally she's a fullback, but Coach Harrigan seems wise and prudent to push her up a little bit in the halfback position, or halfback forward. Peru is keeping the ball down in here in the Beekmantown end. It really hasn't been down in the Peru end here lately, Calvin.
No.
So they're responding well. And number 1 coming off for Peru, Sardella. And number 4 for Beekmantown, Casey. Ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a goal kick for Beekmantown. We have 17 minutes and 33 seconds left, first half action. Beekmantown with a 1-0 lead at this point on an early goal by Callie Villamere, unassisted. And she could have possibly had 2. And due to the great save by Danny Dayton, Peru keeper, kept them within striking distance of just 1 score. So, and number 8 for Beekmantown, Michelotto, trying to get up to 14, Huber. And Villamere being challenged by number 4, Carpenter, and Carpenter wins that battle. And the ball goes straight up. And number 6 got a foot on that, Mazzella. Kicked in the middle of the field again. Both teams just trying to get something going, and Beekmantown's 21, so she'll have no more of that, and goes wide. That's Waterbury. And Bushy they're just trading kicks back and forth, Calvin. This is what they're going to have to do now. This is what I think this girl right here in the agony, she's got to just go wide and show. And she goes right into traffic, and she just has to go wide, and she's going to have some space to receive a pass. Hard to get a pass to you if you're not open. And here goes Huber for Beekmantown being challenged by Bushy. She gets by Bushy. Huber with a beautiful service in the center. Nobody there for Beekmantown, and it kicked out of bounds by the defender. It looks like number 4 for Peru got a foot on that. Carpenter goes out of bounds, and another great chance for Beekmantown, but nobody there. Good work by Huber centering that ball. And Peru trying to mount something again.
Nobody, look at Alexis.
And Agony with the ball center. They do have numbers for Peru now. Oh, here's a nice through ball. And 8 for Peru is Brown. excuse me, that would be 6 Mazzella. Calvin, I'm going to get rid of my vanity and get my glasses so I quit mixing these young ladies up. I'm going to hold this for a second, please.
You think Joe's been doing a nice job? Just wait till he starts to see, then it'll be even better.
So Joey Trombley can get away with this. But since I'm the reserve, I'm fighting for a spot.
That's right. You gotta
have to be spot on all the time.
You got them.
Oh yeah, they're even partially clean.
There you go.
Okay. Peru still putting on a little bit more pressure than Beekmantown. Beekmantown every now and then gets a good crack, but they're playing good defense. O'Connor really hasn't had a hard challenge against her, but here's a good chance here for Peru. And Agony with they might be waving it off. There's a flag down here from Todd Lambert. They might be waving that goal off. Let's find out. Will they? Beekmantown is very fortunate. They are going to be waving it off. Peru with a great chance and waving it off with an offsides call. Todd Lambert right on top of that. So he put his flag right up off the bat as soon as that goal was scored. But gee, it was some tough luck for Peru. But they're going to have to get another one. Their chance is hard as it is to do it. They're going to have to just suck it up and go. And like I mentioned, they've been playing pretty well the last few minutes after those chances by Beekmantown. We have 13:50 left. A little bit of drama now involved in this game. Beekmantown up 1-0, and it could have been 2-0 Beekmantown, or it could have been 1-1. So, however way you look at it, it still ends up 1-0 at this point. Beekmantown fortunate to get away with that one. Passing on, getting the ball, and Alexis Bushy gets possession and just kicked downfield by number 8 for Beekmantown, Michelotto.
Jim Karen was setting the pick there for a while.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was Lindsay Bushy using her senior skills on that one. Or not Lindsay, Alexis, I should say. Lindsay and Alexis are sisters. I think Alexis is a senior this year, so maybe her last set of playoffs. Autumn Kelly fighting on the far side, and number 12 for Beekmantown, Peterson, junior defender. And just kicked in the middle by Peru. And ball, like I said, just being kicked around. Peru still trying to get something going. Waterbury kicks the ball high and out of bounds on the far side, and another Peru throw. And Peru, they're not really retaining possession per se. They're just, kicking the ball. It seems like they're kicking the ball better than Beekmantown. Just seen right there. Oh, and Agony challenging for that one. O'Connor coming off the line, getting it out, and Huber going on the transition, and oh wow, Huber levels number 10 for Peru. He leveled her pretty hard, no call. Number 10, Hogan. And they're throwing for Beekmantown. Hogan kicks the ball out of bounds, and it'll be a Beekmantown throw in. Number 4 taking that, Carly Casey. Casey goes down the line and headed in by Peru. And here's the dangerous Villamere, trying to find nobody but Passanel kicks it downfield, and Villamere retains possession once again. She does not have numbers, but she does have a little help. It was a little square ball and defended very well by number 16 for Peru, Larson. The ball just kicked out of bounds by 6 Mazzella. Beekmantown throwing on the far side with 11 minutes and 27 seconds left. First half, Beekmantown still retaining 1-0 lead on a great goal by Villamere and a callback on a goal for Peru. So Peru having a little hard luck, but they've had some decent chances. Like I said, neither team really retaining possession. They're not putting together a whole bunch of passes in a row. Peru just having some better kicking opportunities in this second half since that goal. They've had a few chances on O'Connor.
I've definitely been shooting the right side of the field more than the left side.
Yes, you have, except for the very beginning of the game. So Peru's defense have stiffened, and Bushy playing much better. Alexis Bushy, number 18, Agony playing well for Peru. And in the middle, you have Waterbury for Beekmantown playing well. And number 8, Bucceletto. They're playing well. And that's what you can't be doing against Villamere. Villamere has one-on-one against Bushy. Villamere has a good chance. What's she going to do? Just kind of a weak service, and she will be rewarded a corner kick there because it goes off number 10 for Peru, Hogan. And they're going to have like I said, a corner kick. One of the first corner kicks, I believe, in this game, Calvin. Yes, it is. They will first corner kick for Beekmantown. Pretty fast-paced game, not very many fouls, so it's been played cleanly. The officials right on top of these plays.
A lot more fun than 11-0 last night.
Oh my, that was a, oh wow. That was a nice service by 21 Waterbury. For Beekmantown, and they're going to get in a corner kick here right off the bat. That was a real nice corner kick by Waterbury. And Peru does have numbers inside that box. It's kind of slippery down in there, as you can see by the mud. And a real nice service. Oh, that's a good one by Waterbury. And Beekmantown's number 8. Oh, wow. They did not defend well. And that's what happens when you let that ball bounce around. And I think number 8 got the first shot, Bucceletto. We're going to see that they do award the goal, too, for Beekmantown. Beekmantown with a 2-0 lead with 9:21 left in first half. Okay, Bucceletto did get into that goal, but she will be awarded the assist. And number 14, Huber, getting in on the act now. We mentioned her name earlier in the broadcast, and we mentioned Bucceletto. Bucceletto playing well. So Beekmantown coming out of that last four-way with Peru putting a lot of pressure on them, but Beekmantown comes down and scores another one, make it 2-0 in the first half. In this quarterfinal, semifinal matchup. What a big change in momentum. You know, I mean, Peru had a chance to score, they get one called back, and Beekmantown goes down and gets one of their own to go up 2 scores. And Villamere doing some more good work, and Passano for Peru kicks it out of bounds, and another corner kick for Beekmantown. But that just goes to show you, if you're watching this game, you have to defend well on corner kicks or any kind of set piece, you know, because there's a very large percentage of goals are scored off those, especially off corner kicks. You got to defend well. If you let that ball bounce around, that is very detrimental. As you could tell, Beekmantown made them pay. And 21 Waterbury with another nice corner kick. And Peru defends this one much better, and Alexis Bushy does wisely kick it downfield for Peru. Number 8, Brown, trying to get possession, and number 10 for Beekmantown does a good job of containment. Putnam. And just kicked downfield once again. And kicked out of bounds by Hogan, and Beekmantown throwing on the far side with 7 minutes and 53 seconds left first half. Beekmantown up 2-0. Shots on goal with Beekmantown 2 shots and Peru 2 shots. It seems like there has been more shots. I don't know.
There's a lot more pressure.
Yes.
On that.
Each team only awarded 2 shots by the official scoreboard here to my right.
This sort of like a football game where they keep track of the time of possession. I think Peru would have the advantage there. Not so much possession, but in their
pressure. Yeah, just pressure.
They're under the
more pressure. But you got to give Beekmantown credit. 2 shots to 2 scores. So I would have to give him at least 3 because Danny Dayton she had to make a great save on Villamere early in the game. So somebody's not doing her job downstairs. I won't say Olivia Seymour's name anymore, but we have to give her a little shot. She helped us out in the camera a few weeks ago, and Joey Trombley and I were messing up with our first solo job for Calvin, so she saved the video, and I do thank Olivia for that. And Peru's, I don't know if Beekmantown seems like they're putting a little pressure on now since that second goal. They're stepped up some a little bit more spring in her step. And Dayton coming off her line for Peru and making a dramatic yet safe kind of save. We have just about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the first half. And Agony, who's been playing well for Coach Harrigan's Indians, she had a goal called back just before Beekmantown came down and scored their second one. And Alexis Bushy takes possession for Peru, getting the ball in the center and nobody there for the Indians, and kicked downfield by number 12 Peterson. And 13 Villamere, the danger scorer for Beekmantown, trying to find Huber. And Carpenter and Huber fighting for possession, and Carpenter kicks the ball wide and out of bounds on the far side for a throw-in for Beekmantown. And Linear Team Wise gets set up and then goes on the foot of Waterbury and off the foot of number 12 Peterson, and it will be a Peru throw-in. All kinds up in the middle of the field, and 25 for Peru giving chase, and Dunbar and Bushy loses possession. And Beekmantown fans are happy for this. You can hear them cheering on the far side, and a quick throw-in. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Villamere would like to have that. She has one goal, and she could have easily had 3, Calvin. So she maybe could have taken another touch and put a little Deacon move, slip and slide on the goalie for Peru, Dayton. And Dayton was fortunate to have that ball go over the crossbar. Villamere with a couple of good chances in this first half, actually 3, and she scored on one with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. What a game of momentum, that's for sure. Beekmantown getting a couple of quick shots very early in the game, scoring on one of them. Beekmantown's probably had 4 really good opportunities, I'd have to say. Real good opportunities to score. One of them went across the goal piece. A couple of one-on-ones. And here's Mazzella trying to service the ball and kicked out of bounds by the defense for Beekmantown. Quick throw-in by Bushy. Mazzella gets possession. She has some space. She tries to get a cross in. Kicked out of bounds by number 8 for Beekmantown, Buccioletta, who got the assist on the second goal by Huber. Oh, and a good play by Agony. Agony on line. Agony trying to get a service. She does have to cut it back, as you heard Coach Harrigan exhorting her to do, because it went right in the hands of O'Connor. Peru still not laying down. They're playing hard. They could easily have let the wind go out of their sails, I should say, right after that second goal, especially when they were playing so well, getting some good opportunities, having the goal called back, getting scored on, but they're still playing decent. Kind of back and forth games with Beekmantown with 2 shots on the scoreboard and Peru with 2, but Calvin and I do say there was discrepancy in the shots on goal, so we won't go by that. Beekmantown's had at least 4 shots, one wide or one over the net with Villamere, and a good save by Danny Dayton early in the game, and a couple of other chances for Beekmantown. And the ball goes out of bounds. Going to be Beekmantown throwing right on the far side. And number 6, Lapierre for Beekmantown, that goes off her, and quick throwing on the far side for Peru. And Bushy, Alexis Bushy, goes off the back of her teammate Lombard. Oh, a nice little clever play by 11 for Peru, Kelly. And it'll be another Beekmantown throw-in. Finishing throw-ins with 1 minute and 47 seconds left on a cool, overcast day at the George Brendler Field. And we take this time when the ball is kind of in the middle of the field to, let's not, here we have Huber with another one-on-one. What's Dayton going to do? Oh my, Huber buries that. That could be the last nail in the coffin against Peru and for Beekmantown. Huber with a breakaway with 1 minute and 32 seconds left in the first half. That was she buried that one, Calvin. Make no mistake of it. We're going to see who gets the assist. A good breakaway for Beekmantown. And 21 Waterbury getting the assist on that one.
You can't coach speed.
No, you can't. And skill. You know, Huber's a finisher. So
skill you can coach, but speed you can't. You got it or you ain't.
Yes, you do. You know, so Huber getting her second goal here in this first half, and the assist by Waterbury. And caught Peru a little flat-footed. I'm going to say the wind might be out of their sails now.
Good thing it's close to halftime and give Tommy Harrigan a chance to try to get him psyched up for that second half.
Let's see. They're going to have to do something. It's going to take 4 goals to win. And
I think that goal, if you're going to get a 3-0 deficit, it's better to come late in the first half than early in the second half.
You believe that? I think it psychologically kills your team.
Early in the second half.
Well, either way, either late in the first half or if you get scored on, it's just, it really takes the psyche out of your team, especially like we mentioned, Peru was putting some pressure on Beekmantown, and then they had that goal called back on them, and then Beekmantown gets, 2 goals, one here just before the end of the first half. I think it just, you're down 3, it's going to take 4 goals, and you look up and you say, as Beekmantown had 4 goals scored against them all season, and I know better than to call 3-0 games. I've learned my lesson in the past, but it really is not where you want to be when you're Peru.
No.
It's just
against an unbeaten team.
An unbeaten team, that's true.
Unless you're in the sectional, the state championship game.
Like I mentioned, Calvin, we don't have to revisit that if we don't want. But we're going to end this first half with Beekmantown scoring 2 goals here in this, or actually Beekmantown up 3-0 against Peru, and Peru had some chances. We will be back in momentarily. All right. Back here to our second half action. Semifinal action at the George Brendler Field with the Beekmantown Eagles and the Peru Indians. Peru is in the blue and Beekmantown is in white. Like I said, Beekmantown up 3-0 with some momentum changes in that game. In that first half, it was pretty exciting. Where Beekmantown went up 1-0, and Peru could have pulled in a 1-1 tie and had a goal called back on an offsides play. And Beekmantown coming back on 2 goals by Huber. And Villamere catching the first goal. And Beekmantown does have some finishers. And number 4, Casey, try to send the ball downfield, and Peru's Passano heading it up. And 14, Huber, who's the 2 goal scorer so far in this game. And the ball downfield, and ball goes in the middle of the field, and number 16 for Peru, Larson sending the ball downfield, and just gets another foot on it again. Both teams, like I mentioned earlier in that first half, Calvin, neither team really retains possession for a long time. They just kind of pounding the ball. And myself personally, I've watched Beekmantown play on hometown cable. I've watched the girls, and they seem to be a better passing team than what they're doing today. I mean, normally I've watched them in the games against Northeastern. I believe they played. Northeastern, granted, no disrespect to them, they didn't have the strongest team this year, but Beekmantown, they pass much better. I don't know if it's coming off the long bye week or what.
Well, I think the pressure, you feel a little more anxiety when you're in a game, or if you lose, you're done. So you kind of
put more
up
weight in your passes, though. You're saying, yeah, and you're right. Granted, they are only they're high school, but they are still kids. So a lot of emotion in this game, because you lose, you do go home. And Peru Indians have dug themselves a very large hole to get out of. And here's Huber once again, trying to get a service in the middle.
I wouldn't say that Peru dug the hole. I would say that
Beekmantown buried him. Beekmantown dug it for him.
I think Beekmantown
they scored.
Yes, they did. Chances, and
yes, they did.
Come out of nowhere to get those goals. They're very quick on that front line.
And this game could be a lot worse for Peru, because Villamere went right at the keeper, Danny Dayton, for a 1 goal breakaway, and she had another breakaway, and she went over the crossbar. So it could be a little bit worse for Peru after that first half. But we mentioned that during that first half, Peru had a lot of the pressure on the keeper O'Connor for Beekmantown, but not really any good cracks at her, And there was a foul on Beekmantown in the middle of the field, and
Play smart soccer.
number 4 goes down pretty hard to Carpenter. She gets back up though, and Alexis Bushy for Peru with this direct kick and a set piece. Not really that high, but kicked up by Carpenter. And 16 for Peru. Trying to get possession of that ball. That would be Larson. Ball goes out of bounds. There's going to be another Peru throw-in. Peru trying to retain some kind of pressure. Goes off the foot and looks like a Bushy. I think Coach Harrigan moved number 12 Lindsay Bushy up, trying to get some offense here, because the hole they are in is 4 deep for the win now. With
Defense isn't going to win you the game at this
no,
point.
it doesn't really matter. You need to get a couple quick ones here early in the second half, and I do mean try to get a couple quick ones. We have 35:52 left. Here's Carpenter with a good move up on top of the box, and kind of a weak shot goes off a defender for Beekmantown. And number 3 for Peru, Britton, gets awarded a corner kick for Peru. They really shouldn't be jogging over there too much, Calvin. I think I'd put a little bit more emphasis on some speed to get something going, because Peru, like I said, they're 4 deep in the goal column for the win, and that's keeping Beekmantown off the board. So they have 3 to make up for the tie and 4 for the win. That's actually a nice corner kick, and O'Connor comes off her line. Punch that one out of bounds. And Alexis Bushy once again going to line up for a corner kick for Peru. Peru putting a little bit of pressure on Beekmantown here in this early going into the second half, down 3-0. They had nothing to lose, and goes off the head of number 11, Kelly. And Peru is going to get another corner kick.
On your toes, hips out. Come on, wait.
Bushy again. She has to get him a little bit deeper.
Get to the ball.
See if she has enough oomph here to. This is the 3rd one in a row. I think she's going to get the 3rd one, right, Calvin?
Yes, on your toes here.
Think she's going to get this. Going to be a better one.
Third one's a
Let's
chance.
see. Yeah. Oh, that bounces and defended well by Beekmantown to get the ball out. And Huber, the goal scorer, giving chase, and she has some speed. And number 10, Hogan, did a good job just containing it, but Huber still has the ball. Huber on the transition game coming down and gets a shot off, but it goes over the crossbar. Huber came flying out of there after getting 3 consecutive corner kicks awarded to Peru, getting a good chance to put them up 4-0, but some decent containment by number 10, Hogan, to slow her down a little bit, because she can fly. Her and Villamere both deadly up front for Beekmantown. And Kelly getting the ball out, and goes over the head of Villamere, and Waterbury goes off her foot, trying to get it to Villamere. Villamere settling it down, being challenged by several of the defenders. Villamere still with the ball, a couple of quick cuts in the top, and Villamere gets off a good left-handed or left-footed kick right into the arms of Danny Dayton. Dayton's going to take a few seconds, let her team get set up. Beekmantown with 2 great chances here.
That's all right. That's all right.
Like I said, Bob being kicked around just a little bit, and Mazzella losing it to Huber. Huber still getting chase. And 16 for Peru. I know I've mentioned her name a few times, is Larson. And 4 Carpenter. Trying to do something for Peru, and Lindsay Bushy, who just got moved up front.
Jesse Callie, someone still works back.
Good defense by number 8. Oh, good service, but it does go wide. Number 8 for Beekmantown did a good job. Bucciaretto, who's played a very good game here for the Eagles. And we have 32-41 left here in second half action. Beekmantown up 3-0. 2 goals by Huber and 1 goal by Villamere.
Hey, what part of our head do we headband, girl? That's what you got to do.
Play it on the whistle.
Somebody will win that Beekmantown side is Brady.
This is what Peru's going to need. Beekmantown, though, just getting their stuff back together, keep the ball out in the middle of the field, that definitely helps them. We have 31:52 left here in the second half. If Beekmantown keep the ball out in the middle of the field, they would be more than happy. And a foul against Beekmantown, or excuse me, Peru. Beekmantown burning a few seconds off the clock.
You got this! First the ball!
Peru goes off the back of Villamere. I noticed that Huber and Villamere are very, very quick to that ball. They do step in front, and Peru really doesn't have much of an answer for that right now. They're tall girls also, very tall, and they have good speed. Like you mentioned, you can't teach speed. Number 6 for Beekmantown, Rebecca Lapierre checking in for the Eagles. And number 14, Huber coming off for a few minutes of rest with 30 minutes and 45 seconds left in second half action. Semifinal at the George Brendler Field.
You know, it's cooling off enough, and I'm glad I decided not to do that next game.
And that is true. Maybe if somebody made a quick donation from either of those teams, would that be able to keep you here, Calvin?
Certainly get my attention.
Well, I don't see any forthcoming at this time, so.
We do have some support from Beekmantown, and
Good.
Out of the blue, Peru girls soccer team sent a contribution this fall. So
very nice.
So I wanted to make sure I'd be here, and I'm glad they're playing each other, so I can cover them both.
It makes it easy. Oh, that's a nice service off that restart. But Dayton easily collects that one. You know, we mentioned earlier that you will be there if you're supported. It works both ways.
Trying my darndest. I have to leave the.
Oh, Waterbury here. Waterbury with Villamere. Villamere one-on-one. She's going to be called for an offside. So I do not know about that, but we do have Todd Lambert right on it. So and there is a. What do you think?
Todd Lambert,
Altona in the York with Todd Lambert. Voice your opinion.
Or stop in and see his wife Claire at Latrimore's and Shady.
Okay. These officials, they do a good job all in all. It's one of the positions you really don't want. And
we're fortunate that these guys
they're thick skins. They do, you know. They actually do.
They get paid well, but you got to like it in order to do it.
They take some unnecessary abuse. I notice that from some of the fans. They get a little bit caught up in it, and some of the fans, instead of being a positive cheer, it's like a negative. What do they call that? The Bronx cheer. So they do take some abuse, unnecessarily so.
Yeah, once in a while, my announcers get excited too.
Oh well, you know, it's yes. Well, we have not been even warned yet this year, so we've been trying to tell Sammy Lajway maybe to throw a yellow in our direction, but he hasn't done it yet. But Flashball Bayshard and Todd Lambert and Karen have done quite a few games amongst them. Right now we have Beekmantown applying some pressure, not happy with the 3-0 lead in the second half. Peru defends well this time, and Lindsay Bushy trying to send it downfield to sister Lindsay. Lindsay's being defended by Peterson. Lindsay Bushy one to beat, and Lindsay Bushy still with the ball, and Lindsay has shot just goes wide on Lindsay Bushy. Maybe if she would have gone far post, she might have had a little bit more luck. She had number 6 Mazzella on that far side looking to get a far post goal. Some good work by Peru coming out with the transition. Good job by Passano. Get that ball. Nice square ball. Mazzella gets a hold of that, trying to get it up to Carpenter for Peru. Carpenter does have some room. Carpenter trying to center the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds off the end line. And Beekmantown will get another goal kick. They need to do a little better getting these goal kicks down the field. Michelletto gets a foot on it. And Mazzella trying to get a square ball and defended well by Beekmantown. Villamere gets possession. Huber's pointing up. And Passano defending well, but Villamere offending better. Villamere getting around the defense very well. Once again, Villamere is going to shoot. Oh, she gets it over to number 6, Lapierre. Lapierre trying to get a shot off, and Peru kind of lucky that Villamere didn't decide to take a shot, because she looks like she had some open space with 26:05 left. Beekmantown still up 3-0. And Lapierre gets a foot on it. Villamere gets knocked down, no call, and there is a call actually. A little late whistle by Karen. Beekmantown here with a great chance for a set piece right outside the box, probably about 14 yards or so. And Buccialetto, number 8, does have a good foot, so right at net. She's trying to go corner, and Danny Dayton makes a decent save, even telling her team to get up. And she kicks the ball downfield, trying to find Bushy. Headed well by Buccialetto, but it goes on the foot of number 6 for Peru. Mazzella goes wide. Defended very well by Beekmantown, and number 5, number 6, Lapierre with possession. Oh, a nice square ball, but intercepted by 11 for Peru. Agony. That would be Kelly. Haven't mentioned Kelly's name much for Peru. I've been kind of out of it. She's normally one of their playmakers. Good job by Carpenter for Peru. Peru with the throw, and we have 24 minutes, 34 seconds left in the second half. Peru needs to mount something very, very quick here if they're going to get back in this. And Villamere with possession, Villamere with speed, Villamere with skill, Villamere with a one-on-one now. Villamere with a shot that goes wide. Villamere easily could have scored on that one. So Villamere had everything to show for that one except for the goal at the end. Beekmantown with some great chances.
Just yanked it a little bit to the right. Got the right idea.
And 2 for Beekmantown.
How many times you see
Jodewin.
You see it's like the shooter is trying to hit the keeper. You know, they come down, they shoot it right at the keeper instead of where the keeper isn't.
Well, she could easily have 3, maybe 4 goals this game. Oh, and here goes, I thought Huber was going to break in to try to get number 3 for herself. And Bushy fouls number 11, Regan. Beekmantown with a quick kick on that restart, and Regan does get it back. Regan on top of the box, let's go with a shot, and goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick for Peru with 23 minutes left in second half action. Beekmantown up 3 against the Peru Indians. In semifinal action at the George Brendler Field today is October 29th, 2011. My name is Joe Poissant, and Calvin Castine, the father of Hometown Cable, on the camera. The normal play-by-play man, Joey Trombley, is taking a little sabbatical. We'll let him off.
Resting his voice.
He is, because we do have some games coming up later on this week here in Shazy. Shazy girls are on Tuesday. A couple of... Oh, nice play by Bushy, finding number 8, Brown. Defended very well by Beekmantown. Off the foot of Passano. Passano getting it up to Brown again. Bushy back to Passano. Trying to find Bushy in the middle. And Mazzella. Let's go with a shot from distance. Ooh, my. That was very, very close to an own goal against Beekmantown. So we're putting together a little bit of passing. Some of the best passing we've actually seen here in the second half. Oh, Carpenter for Peru gets off a shot. And O'Connor lets that one go over the top of the net. We're putting on a couple of, we're getting a couple of good chances, a little pressure by Peru. They do have nothing to lose. It's going to take 3 to tie and 4 to win for them with just a little more than, well, we have a little more than 21 minutes left in the second half. Beekmantown having a couple of chances of their own really to put this game, hit it right out of the ballpark. Wilmer List missing a one-on-one with the keeper going wide a few times. Over the net once, and Huber getting a chance for Beekmantown. She has 2 goals already.
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
And Carpenter here does a good job getting possession. Beekmantown goes on the foot of Passano, and number 2 for Beekmantown, Jodo, with the ball trying to go up the line, trying to find Huber, and defended by number 10 for for Peru, Hogan, and Huber does retain possession. Huber lets go with a decent shot off the top of the box, and it does go over the crossbar. And Peru is showing a little bit of desperation. They've been caught up a few times trying to get on the board. Lindsay Bushy up front for Peru. Coach Harrigan moving it from the sweeper position. There's no sense of urgency here for Peru, Calvin. I don't know. I think I'd be putting a little bit more than a slow jog into that one, trying to get...
We're 3/4 of the way through this one.
Yes, we are. We have 19 minutes and 52 seconds left. And a well-played game, really, by both teams. It's just been that Beekmantown has taken it... They've had better chances, I have to say, but Peru has had some. Peru is still not giving up. They're still playing hard, so give them credit. I think the temperatures just dropped, Calvin. It feels like it.
Yeah, Gary Edwards got another layer on down there. And,
Can't blame him for that.
he hasn't covered the top of his head, though. He just needs to... he got a hood in it. Last layer he put on.
Calvin, can you move your car? Can Liz move your car?
Huh?
Can Liz move your car?
Can Liz move my car?
Yeah.
I don't, not without the key.
Wow. She thought they were in.
Here you go.
Tell her I know how much money is in the little tray there.
You change it, usually gets lost in the seat, you mean?
Yeah, you go to McDonald's and take the change back and put it there. I know how much is in there.
And Bull with the throw-in. Oh, that was a nice little nifty play by Casey, but they are going to say it's out of bounds, and Peru will be awarded a throw-in. And passing over the throw-in, trying to find Bushy. And Waterbury playing good defense, gets knocked in the back, but there is no call, and it will be out of bounds. And Beekmantown's going to get this throw-in, and 19 Bull going to get another chance at this, and Mr. Lambert telling her back at the half, trying to find Huber on the throw. Well, Bailey calls for it. She does get it and goes off the foot of the Peru defender, and Bailey Waterbury gets knocked to the ground by Alexis Bushy, and Alexis Bushy showing a little frustration out here. And Beekmantown will take their time now. They are wisely doing so, where Peru took their time probably in an unwisely manner on a goal kick a few minutes ago. We have 17 minutes and 30 seconds left. No score in the second half, but Beekmantown has threatened a few times to put this game way out of reach. Off the foot of that girl right there, Callie Villeneuve. Hey, don't tell. And the coach of the PHS Hornets for the next game, Tim Mulligan, a Shazy graduate a few years ago, popping in here to the booth. And Peru's Lindsay Bushy getting a good service, but O'Connor does a good job getting that ball forward Beekmantown and taking her time, letting her team set up. You can notice on the film here that Beekmantown is playing a whole bunch of defense. Everybody is back, so there's a whole bunch of defense for Beekmantown, and Bushy coming across the field to Bushy and up to Carpenter. And Peru Carpenter getting a shot off. You got to give Peru credit. They are still playing hard, still getting a few good chances, but O'Connor's doing a decent job in between the posts for Beekmantown. And Mazzella for Peru trying to do something with it, and it goes off her foot, and it's going to be a Peru throw-in, and substitute going in for Beekmantown, number 16 for Redrick. And 19 Bull coming off the field. Bull defender doing a decent job for the Beekmantown Eagles.
Bull's grandparents, Bucket and Betty, are right by the
Oh, no kidding. These Shazy people, councilman for Shazy forever. Oh my, she has to do a better job defending against Villamere. You can't, Hogan do it. Oh my God, Villamere is, that's about the fourth chance he's had on a one-on-one breakaway, and Danny Dayton doing another good job to thwart that. Number 10, Hogan has to do something besides let the buyer leave Villamere go by you, because they have not paid for that. That's about what, the third, at least the third one-on-one Villamere's had. Hogan's had one this half. So Peru's got to count their blessings. They're not down by more than 3-0. There's Villamere again, trying to find her partner Huber on that side. And they work very well together, and Huber does a good job just to step up. But Passano gets possession. She gives it away just as easily to Casey. Casey does a good job of finding Villamere. Villamere does a decent job trying to center it, and defended very well by number 5 for Peru Agony. And 16 for Beekmantown with a throw in, Frederick. And goes in the center to Waterbury. Waterbury back to Frederick, and defended well by Alexis Bushy, but she does lose possession. Waterbury gets it up to Villamere. Villamere does a beautiful little cut move. Villamere still in possession, being defended very well by 3 of them. 3 defenders for Peru, and what is she going to do? And it does go out of bounds off a Peru defender, and it will be a throw-in for Beekmantown. Number 4, Casey, taking the throw-in on this near side deep in Peru territory with 14 minutes and 13 seconds left, second half action. Beekmantown up 3-0 against Peru Indians. Beekmantown's threatened several times, and Danny Dayton's come up some great saves for Peru to even keep them within 3 goals. Peru is still playing hard. I got to give them credit. They could easily just fold up the tent and pack it in and say this game is over, but they are still getting decent chances. Carpenter getting a few cracks at it, and Bushy playing well up front for Peru, but the defense for Beekmantown's playing well. And number 8, Brown with the ball, giving up to Alexis Bushy. Bushy with some space going wide, finding Lindsay Bushy. Lindsay does have space on the far side. Oh, and number 15 for Beekmantown kind of jumped Schwartz. She just jumped, and Bushy does retain possession. Alexis Bushy, or Lindsay Bushy, goes off the back of a Beekmantown defender. And kicked down the line by 16 Larson. Out of bounds, Beekmantown thrown on the far side, and thrown in quickly, and it gets by Villamere, but she does retain possession. Good defense by Bushy containment, and Larson kicks the ball out of bounds. Goes off a Beekmantown defender, or Beekmantown player, I should say. And Peru gets a quick throw and comes to the middle of the field to number 11, Kelly. And Mazzella loses possession and defended well against by Beekmantown, but Passano trying to get it to number 8, or Brown. Goes off the end line, and it will be a goal kick for Beekmantown, and they will wisely take their time and burn off a few seconds. With 12 minutes and 22 seconds left here in the second half action, Beekmantown with a rather commanding 3-0 lead. Peru applying a little pressure at times, but then they lose some focus, and Beekmantown has a decent transition game, getting it up to Villamere or Hogan, who have had a few breakaways, especially Villamere. She has connected on one right off the bat in the first half. She had another chance in the first half, and she's had, I think, 2 chances one-on-ones here in the second half, one right at the keeper and one went wide. So Villamere have some great chances to really bury Peru, but they will take this 3-0 lead right now and just kick downtown into the arms of O'Connor. She lets it bounce and letting the team get set up and gets out of the mud patch down in front of that goal and goes wide with the ball, and Larson for Peru goes off her foot wide, and a throw in on the far side for Beekmantown. Quick throw, and number 11 goes off Regan. And Huber here with another one-on-one being defended by Huber at the speed of Huber. Huber going on one-on-one. What is she going to do with this? And that one will not be wasted, and Huber gets her hat trick for the game. That's her 3rd goal. We're going to find out who does get the assist, because it was a long pass, and that will give Beekmantown. That will probably bury any chances that Peru has to come back. With 11 minutes and 1 second left, we'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back with second half action. That is the first goal scored in the second half, and Beekmantown finally buries one of the many one-on-one chances that they've had this game, with Huber finishing up very well, and number 11 getting the assist for Beekmantown, Kylie Regan, who's had a decent game for the Eagles. So Beekmantown more than likely are going to win this semifinal match. And here's the other threat, Villamere retaining possession, being challenged by 10 it is 10 Agony for Beekmantown. Or Hogan, excuse me, or Peru. So Peru finally does pay for one of those many. How many one-on-ones have Beekmantown had this game, Calvin? At least 5.
They've had a bunch.
So they've scored on 2 of them. And you have made them pay. Actually, 3 of them they scored on, 2 by Huber. Huber gets a hat trick. One off a corner kick. The assist by Bucceletto. In the first half, it is the first goal scored of the second half by either team. Peru still with a goose egg, and Beekmantown applying some more pressure. Not happy with a 4-0 lead. Beekmantown playing very well. Not really possessing per se, but putting the ball in the back of the net 4 times will make any coach happy and a team win. And trying to get another one on that far side forward. Oh my, she just got kicked, but it was that Alexis Bushy. She got kicked rather hard off the shot. And she's staying down, and getting back up gingerly is Alexis Bushy. It was a strong challenge, and she is a tough one.
Interesting.
Let's see, that would be number 10 for Hogan for Peru. I don't think we'd be dancing at all, Calvin, if we got kicked like that. Probably calling an ambulance and a therapist.
Definitely a therapist. What the heck we were doing out there.
Yeah, psychologist, therapist, whatever you want to call them. So, Beekmantown with a commanding 4-0 lead here. Semifinal action versus Peru. Rather, this game, the game before this when Peru tied them, so I think it might have been the last game of the season too, so Beekmantown had a little something to prove. They're still undefeated, and Peru tied them 1-1 the last game, but Beekmantown has come out here on a tear, commanding 4-0 lead so far with 7 minutes and 55 seconds left. Peru has had some chances though, and they're still playing hard. They haven't really just given up. Oh, good job by
too much out of Tom Harrigan lately, though.
Well, I can't really blame him. He sees the score and the time left too. So
Save your voice.
yes, you gotta give Peru credit. They've played hard the whole game. At times their defense has been a little slack, allowing the one-on-ones. But you got to give Villamere and Huber credit. They just fly by the defense. They have speed, and like you said, Calvin, you cannot teach that. And they also have skill to go with it. So, a nice delivery by Buccioletta.
Dayton is a very good goalie.
She is a good keeper, but you got one-on-ones like that. I mean, she's done a great job on most of them. So, and if your defense doesn't defend well on corner kicks, like they got the goal on the corner kick, Beekmantown, and they made a great opportunity of it, but Bushy trying to center the ball and Carpenter trying to get a foot on it and kicked out by the defense of Beekmantown. It goes wide and out of bounds, and Peru is going to get a throw in with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Beekmantown with a commanding 4-0 lead. And we have not asked anybody. We're going to make an appeal here for donations at this time because this is a hometown cable production with Calvin Caston. That's how he makes his living. You can go to 1477 or send money or cash, checks, any kind of donation. You can send Canadian money, see Calvin on the street. But you can send donations to 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York, 12919. Or you can go online to Plattsburgh.com. It can take you to the hometown cable site, or go to hometown-cable-network.com. And you can pay through PayPal, credit cards. Any of these donations are greatly appreciated by Calvin because that's how he makes his living. And people do tell me that they watch these, and so some of the people, if you're watching, maybe you can send Calvin a 20 spot or so, or send me a 20 spot. I'll split it with Calvin generously. But either way, it's how he makes his living. And number 6 for Beekmantown, Lapeer, trying to get a little something going. Beekmantown is not happy. Just a little over 5 minutes left in this game, but Calvin has been doing this for 28 years. He has 6,800 programs now online, and he has about 12,000 programs in the vault. Programs such as these, where Joey Trombley, the normal play-by-play man, weighs about 40 pounds less, and everybody likes to see that. But everybody's going to come back when you can go online in several years and watch this, and you maybe can show your children that you were actually a good player and not a bench warmer.
Not that there's anything wrong with bench warming.
Nothing wrong with that if you're a good one. You have to be good at something. That kind of smarts on a cold day. And number 16, Frederick, bounces
bench
it.
warmer, someday you may end up being the next Joe Pussy.
Well, listen, who's that guy for Texas Rangers who was a bench warmer in college? He never even played first string, but now he's starting for Texas. I don't know his name, but it was a great World Series victory for St. Louis, and I know you were rooting for Texas. Oh, that's a good move by Huber to say, she does not save it, but good hustle. You were rooting for Texas because they are an American League team, as you say, but St. Louis won their 11th World Series, second only behind your Yankees, Calvin.
They are my Yankees.
So you got St. Louis come out of nowhere. Oh, right here off the foot of up here, and it went nowhere, but Huber does get it. Excuse me, being challenged by Alexis Bushy, and Mazzella gets possession for Peru on the far side, being challenged by number 11, Regan. And number 10 for Peru, Hogan just kicks it downfield, and she is being told to go wider, like she should have been. And good job here by Jodwin, number 2 for Beekmantown. Jodwin being challenged by 10 Agony, and Jodwin gets away a good pass to Huber. Huber goes wide to number 6 Lapeer. Lapeer getting a good shot off, but Danny Dayton makes another good save for Peru. but there is 2 minutes and 42 seconds left here in this second half. Beekmantown up 4-0. Peru might be fortunate. It has not been more than 4-0 due to the diligence of the Peru keeper, Danny Dayton, making some good saves on some shots by Huber and Villamere for Beekmantown. The goal scorers, Huber with 3 and Villamere with 1. It is what we expected to see. And number 10 for Beekmantown just kicks it downfield to Putnam. Peru still trying to get a little something together. And Carpenter here trying to get a little break, but well defended by 12 Peterson. And 12 Bushy for Peru gets a hold of the ball. Bushy trying to get something going, defended very well with numbers. No shot was allowed due to the diligence of the defense for Beekmantown. Good team defense. You have to give him credit. Lindsey Bushy back with the ball to Alexis Bushy. Alexis Bushy with some space on top of the box. Alexis Bushy trying to go to Carpenter. Carpenter being defended well by probably about 8 defenders, and they're going to call a foul against Beekmantown, it looks like, with 1 minute and 31 seconds left in the second half. Peru trying to get on the board here, save a little face with this game. Instead of the goose egg, maybe to go in with 1, so a good chance for the Peru to get a little redemption. Alexis Bushy and Lindsey Bushy, the Bushy sisters, and very well defended by Beekmantown. Oh, we're going to call another foul against Beekmantown deep in this box. Under a minute 50 seconds left here in the second half. And the Bushy sisters are going to be at it again. And Lindsey Bushy lets a shot fly. It does go over the top of the crossbar. And Calvin, we're going to have to put this game in the bank, I believe, for Beekmantown with a convincing win over the Peru Indians, who were the only team to give them any kind of trouble over the regular season. They tied them in the last game, 1-1, but Beekmantown comes out flying on all cylinders with a 4-0 victory at the George Brendler Field to move in. They'll go into the finals either versus PHS or Sable. And that game will be played here next on the George Brendler Field, and we're going to find out who the winner is. You're going to have to read the paper because Calvin will not be filming this. He's going to go to early mass. And congratulations to the Beekmantown Eagles going into the championship game of the Class B Section 7 here at the George Brendler Field. Calvin, what night will they be playing?
They'll be playing on the Friday night.
They'll be playing this Friday night. Now, will you be here to film it?
That's my intent.
Okay. So Calvin will have that championship game no matter who they play, either Sable Valley or PHS, but Beekmantown will be represented in the finals, and congratulations to them and good luck. My name is Joe Poisson on the microphone, and Calvin Casson on the camera, and like Calvin always says at the end of every game, that is the way it was in beautiful downtown